Hi, I'm Sims, the artist formerly known as Joshua Simmers.
And I'm Kerry Getz, and this is Sims Gets It. Sims Gets It is a weekly episodic professional wrestling podcast and video channel where we, Sims and Getz, discuss the best and the worst things we saw this past week, WWE and AEW pay-per-view predictions, and any other big news surrounding promotions like Impact and Ring of Honor.
Correcting creative and what ifs of professional wrestling's past and present. You can also join the conversation when we rank our all-time favorite pro wrestlers and pay-per-views.
So today what we're going to go ahead and do for our first video, we're going to kick off with some predictions for the horror show at Extreme Rules. So looking at the card, the first match we need to discuss today is going to be Apollo versus MVP for, might I say, a beautiful new United States Championship.
Really good looking belt.
Yeah. So what are you feeling with that? What direction do you think they're going to go?
I think Apollo's going to hold on to the belt for right now. This is it's like the biggest push he's really gotten in his career so far. I think they're going to hold on to it a little longer. I also think that some point down the road he's going to turn heel and join the pain company or business or whatever Bobby and MVP are calling that. I think that's going to be a pretty big staple by the end of the year. So, but I think for right now, Apollo's going to hold on to it. I expect a clean win, actually.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's going to be a clean win, and I also have Apollo going over MVP in this match to not only retain but also receive the new United States Championship tonight. So pretty excited about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have been teasing the heel turn a lot for Apollo over the last couple of weeks. So I'm pretty interested to see where that goes. If he does turn heel, when do you think that they're going to pull the trigger on that? Personally, I'm concerned with Paul Heyman being out on Raw. I'm concerned that Apollo's push is going to go away too. It hasn't looked like that so far, which I'm relieved. But so I'm interested to see what they do with him creatively.
I was really worried about that with a few wrestlers when Paul left, but the only one that's really I've noticed that suffered a lot has been Aleister Black. Like I don't even know where he's been the last couple of weeks. But I think Apollo's good.
Yeah, he keeps coming out like limping to save Rey Mysterio like every other week.
Yeah, like Ray, I love you, I got your back. But then
Right.
the next week he comes, he's
You're
like,
killing
I
me,
broke
Ray.
my
You're
leg.
killing me.
Yeah, literally, that's all he said to it. So second match we have here, we got Bayley and Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's Championship. What you got going on there?
Yeah, so to me, this has been a fun and interesting feud. I saw last week on SmackDown, we kind of got a little bit of a glimpse at the crazy, unhinged Nikki Cross again in that backstage beatdown segment. So I'm pretty interested to see that. But I don't think now is the time to pull the trigger to take the belt off of Bayley. Personally, I don't know about you, but I think this is some of the best work of her career since her Sasha Bayley feud in NXT several years ago. She's kind of got the Karen thing going, which I personally love. I think that's really cool. And I'm, of course, as everybody in the wrestling universe is hoping for eventually a Sasha Bayley feud, which we'll get to a little bit later. But yeah, I definitely think Bayley's going to go over Nikki. I think it's going to be a great match. Surprise a lot of people. But I'm taking Bayley in this one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really underrate Nikki Cross. She's a phenomenal in-ring worker, but people see her as like Alexa's sidekick because everybody knows who Alexa Bliss is.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think Bayley's going to win. Like you said, her character right now, she went from like the fun-loving 6-year-old that wants to hug everybody to like this super like bitchy and upset 12-year-old kind of.
Yeah.
But she's doing really good work right now, and I don't see her losing until the eventual Sasha feud, which has been building for like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on that finally, but when they do, it should be spectacular. I mean, we always complain about long-term booking with WWE, and it looks like we're kind of getting it with those two, and everybody's going to complain about it anyway because it's WWE, and we're fans, and we like to complain.
Right. So yeah, speaking of Sasha, we're gonna go ahead and spend some time talking about her match with Asuka. Um, as we know, Asuka's the Raw Women's Champion after Becky Lynch announced that she was going to be stepping away from wrestling for the foreseeable future to become a mother. Which Becky, right? But I'm super excited for this match if they get time. This is for me. This is match of the night.
Yeah.
If they get 15-20, it's going to be a fantastic match. A lot of really interesting spots. Can't wait to see how many middle turnbuckle spots that they have. I have to give you credit for that one since you called it out.
It's a women's title match. It'll happen for sure.
Right.
At least one.
But for me, man, I think if it were me, I would use tonight to take the strap off of Asuka. I have Sasha going over Asuka tonight.
Ooh, I might have to disagree with you there. I think Asuka's going to hold on to that baby for a little bit longer. I think it'd be cool to see Sasha win, but because I'm a big Sasha Banks fan, uh, but I just don't see Asuka losing it quite yet. I think they're going to have her hold on to that for a big lose a big pay per view for maybe to Charlotte because that's what everybody kind of does, loses to Charlotte, or returning Ronda Rousey or something like that. It would be cool to have Sasha and Bayley hold all the championships, but I don't see that happening tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, if Sasha were to go over Asuka tonight, we can definitely start to see okay, we're both tag team champions, and okay, I've been there for you, Bayley. Are you going to return the favor for me being Raw's champion? I think that's whenever we can see the separation begin to happen. Start planting those seeds in it. Who's really the real deal? Who's the better champion? So.
Or maybe indirectly, Bayley cost Sasha the match tonight. Maybe not intentionally, but
okay.
You never know.
Thinking swerve.
Yeah, we love that.
Okay.
Okay, so for our next match, we have Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in an eye for an eye match. What you got?
Man, let me just tell you, I'm not looking forward to this match. I think the feud is very overplayed. But I'm taking Seth in this match. Not excited about there's rumored to be CGI. But I will say, we were talking about it earlier. You were saying it could potentially be cinematic, which I'm really excited about with the stuff that they've been able to do in the past. A little bit of a bonus here. I think tonight's the night that they turn the trigger on Dominic joining Seth Rollins. I think he's gonna come in for the save. And I think Dominic is gonna turn on his dad. So I think they've been teasing it a little bit. Dominic being a little bit defiant the past couple of weeks and things like that. So I think Seth is going to do it with the assistance of a Dominic.
Hey, Dad, this guy let me do whatever I want. I'm tired of listening to your rules. Yeah, I have Seth winning. I hope it's more of a cinematic match because WWE's really nailed those so far, going back to WrestleMania. I think there's going to be a fake eye kind of implanted in Ray's mask somehow, and that's how they're going to make it look like he lost his eye. I think Dominic turning, I think that'd be very interesting. Yeah, I could see that. Ray is no longer under contract from what I was reading, so could see him moving on from the company or just making, appearances every now and then. But yeah, I think Seth's definitely gonna go over here. And the Dominic turn, I'm gonna go if possible. I'm not gonna go as far as saying I think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna go if possible, and I think it'd be very cool to see.
Okay. All right, cool. Next, we have the New Day versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro.
New Day? Yeah, New Day's winning that match. I mean, I love Shinsuke. I love Cesaro. They might as well name their team the underutilized. they're both so talented. I think Shinsuke is kind of just in WWE for the money. I've kind of thought that for a while. Like he did his great like artist work in Japan, and now he's just here to get a paycheck and kind of go through the motions. Whereas Cesaro's one of the most talented wrestlers in the world and never gets to show it. But I mean, the New Day might be. I mean, by the time they're done, they may go down as the greatest tag team in WWE history. Uh, I love Kofi, I love Big E, and I just don't see him dropping quite yet.
Yeah. What? First and foremost, where is Xavier? I miss that man. He was so damn entertaining for the New Day, and I know he's been injured, but Xavier, we need you back, man. We need some of the trombone on live television again.
Yeah, I feel like he could play the trombone with a busted Achilles. I think he could pull it off somehow. Plus, like, it'd be pretty cool.
What was it, like 1996 Shawn Michaels, whenever he was going through the ankle injury thing with Bret Hart? I think it was before the Montreal thing happened. Bring Xavier out in some pimped out pancake cart wheelchair looking thing and get him back on my TV. Man, Absolutely. It's just complete entertainment. But yeah, long story short, I'm going with the New Day as well. It's a tables match, really. Other than some other matches that we're going to be talking about, it's really the only thing that had a stipulation for this horror show pay-per-view, right? So I think there's going to be some shenanigans, right? I think
for sure.
Shinsuke or Cesaro is going to put the other one through the table by accident, kind of thing. So yeah, I think the New Day.
Okay, so next we have the WWE Championship match with the stipulation to be decided. We got Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. So a little twist with this one. Not only do we want to predict the winner, but also what do you think the stipulation is going to be?
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the internet the last couple of weeks since they kind of decided to go the Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler route. How there's been graphics out there saying it's going to be a TLC match, tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my, But I have to say, for me, it would be a little interesting if a pay-per-view had both a TLC and a tables match. I feel like
that would be a lot.
So I think what Dolph is going to do, I'm not really sure. I'm just going to say steel cage match. I know that's probably it's a safe bet, right?
Okay, well, if they are doing a steel cage match, they hit it really well because I did watch a little bit of the pre-show and there was no cage hanging above the ring.
Oh, wow.
Just throwing that out there.
Not watching the pre-show, right?
Right.
I don't. As for winner, I'm picking Drew. I don't think it's the right time to take the strap off of him. Right. And of course, the rumored match with Randy Orton at SummerSlam, which I'm really looking forward to. I think this is some of Randy Orton's best heel work in the last 5 years. So I think they can make a really good story. But to stick with the agenda, I'm going Drew McIntyre in a steel cage.
Okay. So I'm also going to go Drew McIntyre. I'm a big fan of Dolph Ziggler. He also falls into that underutilized role, which about 75% of the WWE roster does, but that's for another day. I just don't think Dolph has the momentum to be a champion. Like, I think he's only won one match on television this year, and I forget who it was against. I just read it earlier. I wish I could remember.
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, Tucker.
Yep.
Tucker, the forgotten man of Heavy Machinery. Now Otis is getting that push. By the way, where's Otis been lately? That Money in the Bank briefcase looks so good. I just don't see it that often anymore.
Right.
I think I'm gonna go ladder match. I didn't read many rumors about this. When you said the TLC thing, I was kind of thinking the same thing you said about the TLC and the tables match on the same night. But if you have a ladder match and a tables match on the same night, it's kind of like breaking that apart a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ladder match. I think that's, I think Dolph has a little bit of an athletic edge. So that would be, the stipulation should go along something like an athletic type match. Yep. But WWE also could do something dumb like a bull rope match. We never know.
So. If it's a bull rope match, I quit. I'm done.
one episode in.
Right.
Become an AEW podcast.
All right, next for the grand finale, cinematic special. I think a lot of people are really looking forward to this. I know I am. My favorite version of Bray Wyatt is coming back. Wyatt family Bray versus Universal Champion Braun Strowman. Now, do note that this is a non-title match. They have made this very clear. It's just really getting Braun back to go home, right? To face his demons and conquer Bray. I personally think that Bray Wyatt is going to go over Braun tonight. I think it's going to be a normal split the three matches kind of thing, with Braun getting the Fiend at SummerSlam. I think that's what they're building to. So super excited about that. Could you imagine in the same night having Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and the Fiend versus Braun? That'd be pretty cool.
It would be pretty neat.
Drew and Randy Orton came in at separate times, obviously, with probably some of the highest expectations of WWE wrestlers, main eventing what most consider to be the second biggest night of the year.
Absolutely.
Versus a really good story in Braun and Bray Wyatt. So
it'll also be nice. God.
I'm going Bray.
It'll be very nice to have a Big Four pay-per-view without Brock Lesnar in a title match. That'll be super awesome. It's been a while. I'm going a little opposite of you, actually. I'm going to pick Braun, and here's why. I think I like your idea of the title match SummerSlam. I think that is going to happen with the Fiend going over Braun, because the Fiend is super protected for the most part, which is why I think Braun can win against the old Bray Wyatt, and then Bray's like, oh, well, you haven't beat the Fiend. And then the Fiend beats Braun, takes the title back. Hopefully has a little lengthier reign. It's funny that I said reign, because it'll probably be until Roman Reigns comes back, which we're all looking forward to. Hopefully the big dog comes back soon. He got kind of stale, I feel like, for a while, but now that he's been gone, I'm like, man, I like that guy a little bit. I hope he comes back.
Yeah. I hope a lot of the internet wrestling community is the same way with that. I think we don't appreciate what we have at a certain point.
Right, absolutely.
I think a lot of us are feeling that way with John Cena right now. Thinking back to some of the matches and some of the programs that he had, obviously, what ifs and correcting creative on your next Sims Gets It.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully the big dog comes back soon. But
yeah, sometimes when you have something shoved down your throat continuously, it's like, give me a break, and then you get the break, and it's kind of like, oh, that kind of tasted good. But I don't know if that's the best analogy, but that's what came to my head. So yeah, that's the horror show. The horror show.
The horror.
So spooky.
So that's gonna do it for Sim Gets It, the first episode edition of our new podcast YouTube channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button for new content coming August 2020.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, located in the video description below. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good one.
Until next time.
Until next time. Nailed it.